All right. Hi there. So we are now on the open response section, also known as the OR, and we're still on learning target 1.3 function composition. So you'll want to have the same notes out. Same idea. This is just not multiple choice. So I'm going to walk you through some of the problems and help you set them up. So your paper might be numbered a little bit different than mine. Yours might start with a 1. It might start with 11. It doesn't really matter. I hand grade these. So let's look at the first one. Before we even go through, I do want to make sure we know what are the functions we're working with. So if you notice up here, our f function is this 2x plus 4. Our g function is 1/2 x plus 3. And again, I sometimes go through and I change it to be a decimal. So you could also have g of x equals 0.5x plus 3. Either way, it means the same thing. It just, in my mind, for some reason, I think there's less room for error, but you can do whatever you want. You do have a fraction key on your calculator. So let's look at 11. 11 and 12 are going to be those ones where they give us the x value, and we have to plug in the x. So here is the first one. Our inner function is the g. So we're going to use the g. That's this function over here, whatever one you choose. And you're going to plug this in as your x value. And you will end up getting a new x value. And then you use your outer function. That's the outer. And then we plug our new one into the f function, which is this one right here. And you get your final answer. So just showing you, just kind of setting it up. So I'll use the fraction how it comes, and you can choose to use that in your calculator or not. It's totally up to you. So the inner function is right here, circled in orange. And so we would have, we're going with the g, so I go over here and I have 1/2, whatever they tell us the x is, plus 3. And we know right now that this x is going to be 8. I'm going to put that in my calculator, and out comes a new x value. I'm going to take that new x value, and I'm going to plug it into my f function. So the next part, and I just like to rewrite it down here. You don't have to do that part of the work, but f of whatever your new number is, you can do that, but you're not, it's just to hold the place, equals, and then I'm going to plug that in. 2 times whatever you got as your new x. So that one goes right into there, and then plus 4. You just have to remember that's 2 times x plus 4. Same with the top. You have to know what these functions mean. It means 1/2 times whatever the x is plus 3. Okay, and then you get your final answer. That's the one I want on the line over here, or circled, or whatever. All right, let's go to 12. 12 is very similar. We're just going to go the other way. We have our inner function. So when it's written this way, it's not any different. Our inner function is always the one on the inside. So I like to label that the inner function so you know what I'm talking about. And we also, when it gives us a number, that is our x value that we pop into the function. So I get -4, and I'm popping it into the f function first because that's the inner. So my f function over here, again, I'm going to have you try to set this one up a little bit more on your own, but you're going to plug this -4 into this 2 times whatever it is, plus 4. Again, you know what to pop in there, and then you get a new number. That's your new x. And then whatever you do it with the outer function. So I always put outer as the second, or outer. That's the second thing we do. So you take the g function, which is right over here, 1/2 times x, which should be your new number, and then plus 3, and that's your final answer. All right, switching gears a little bit. I'm just going to draw a line here because we're not using any numbers. These are a little bit different in a way of thinking because we're not given an x value. We're actually just plugging one function into another one and simplifying. So this one, our inner function is g of x. That's the inner. There is no number. So what we do is we plug it into the outer function. So I always start with writing the outer function first and then leaving that x space blank because that's where you put that inner function. So f, it's right up here. So 2 times, and then I'm going to leave a big parenthesis, and I'm going to put the dot for times just so I remember, but this is my f function. 2 times whatever x is plus 4. And our inner function is what we have to plug in there because we're not given a number. So I plug my g in there, which is 1/2 x plus 3. And then we know with these, each time we're going to distribute only to what's in the parentheses, and then combine like terms and simplify. All right. Same with 14. So we're plugging a function into itself, but that's okay. So if we're looking at with this is our inner, and we plug it in the outer. We plug it into the outer. So we always start by writing our outer one first and leaving a lot of room where the x is at. So 2 times, and then I'm going to leave the parentheses because I have to plug whatever my x is. In this case, my x is the whole f function. So 2 times x plus 4. And remember, this time it's f is our function. So we're going to be rewriting again, but this time it goes in the x spot. So it's just 2x plus 4. And then again, same thing. Distribute only what's in the parentheses. You know, rewrite that 4, combine like terms, and simplify. All right, we're going to go to the table ones, our favorite. So, and usually our favorite because they're a little bit easier to think about. Just making sure. We do our inner first. That's our x value. So you go here and you go to the g function. So here's g, and I'll circle, here's our f function. So those are the two graphs. Tables, functions. So I go to the g function and I look for where x is -2, x value. I'm always looking at my x's, and then I see what's across from it and I get a new value. You might want to make a spot there. What is your new x when you look for it? And then you go to the second part and you go to the f function. Should have used a better color for that, but you go to your f function. So that's your outer. And whatever your new x is, again, you go to the f function, which is this table, and you look for the x value where your new x is, and across from it is your final answer. And that's what you put on the line. Okay, so you're doing the same thing for 16 and 17. So just replay this video if you're getting confused, but do the inner first, find it on the correct x part, whether you're looking at the f or the g, find a new x, plug it into the outer one second, and find your final. And that is it for the open response part.